How's it going, everyone? Eagle Lockpicking here, and we are going to be picking on the Abloy. It's Abloy Enforcer 341 padlock with the Abloy sentry core in it. We are going to set this thing up. There we go. And we're going to get started. And here is the key. We're going to focus that out. A lot, I guess. It is 10 discs. One of the smoothest actuators that I felt. The bolt just drops out. It's one of my favorite ones to actually use the key on. And I'm going to be using my RWB pick with a custom pick tip on there. Doesn't look very pretty, but it works. And you have to get a custom pick tip to get around the disc warding. It's like a disc warding plate almost. Don't know the actual name for it. Alright, and I probably won't be talking much during the pick, and then I'll talk a little more during the getting, but let's get into it. I always do the back two first, 2.5. I'll show you the half later, once we get it. What I mean by that, then I go to the front. Alright, and we got an open. The back pins wanted to get in my way a little bit there. Back discs. When I say pins in this video, I mean discs. So the warding system pushed the back pin back some. That's why we pick these clockwise instead of counterclockwise, because if you do it the other way, anytime you rotate counterclockwise, it pushes the back one out of position. But since I had to counter rotate some, I ended up moving that one back. Sorry, about bumping everything. So I'm going to get my pinning tray here, which I don't have a pinning tray for disc detainers. So I'm going to be using Elroy's pinning tray, but the back of it. He didn't realize he gave me a double-sided pinning tray, which is alright. So we're going to close this back up. Well, let me get this screw out of here first. Come on. It's not very long, but it feels long. There it is. So I'm going to stick that next to my key, even though I'm about to use the key. So when you take the grub out, you can take out the shielding core holder. Maybe. There it goes. And then we're going to put the key in. And we're going to hopefully wiggle this out of here. Or not. I swear I've gutted this before. There it is. Alright. There goes one of them. I'm going to stick it up here in cylinder B. Here is our round sidebar. And all of our discs. I want this to fall back in there so I can take them out. I can take them out one at a time. There we go. So you got your face plate, And then you go, this isn't a disk, this is just the it is the holder for the warding system, which is this bar right here. And your pick slides in there, and you can't rotate it very much because you start hitting this warding. And then you get your first spacer, so now I'll just go spacer, disk. So this is your disk 1. Another spacer. Come on. Disk 2. Spacer. Now I'll get you a close-up of these disks. Just 3. Four. Five. Six. Seven. 8. 9. And last but not least, 10, which was giving me a problem. And then the bottom disc, this is what I was talking about when I said disc and a half. It goes on the bottom. It is a 0. Oof, thought it timed out on me there, sorry. It is a 0 cut, so you are going to have to turn this, which kind of turns with this one, but not really. So let's get a close-up of all of this. Alright, so you see we got some false gates in 3, Yeah, false gate in 3, and then you got like tiny false gates almost in this one, and then you have a false gate right next to the true gate in 9, and then I think these are mastered. These two are, which I didn't feel any mastering in those, but I'm not proficient at it yet. And then here is the sidebar here. Just around sidebar. So I put it back together and put it in my 3D print I made to see the rotation of the disc and make sure my pick worked. And I don't know how to make screws, so you're going to have to bear with me on that one. But it also shows you how far you need to turn each disc. And if anyone's going to be starting this lock, if you want me to send you the file to 3D print this, you're going to have to make some modifications. But I'm going to try to edit it the best I can and make modifications myself before sending it out and testing it. But I did want to show a little bit of why we there you go. So if I if I started off tensioning all the way clockwise, see the back one and the front one starts to move because of that warding system. And then it makes it very hard for me to get in there. But now I can rotate and get that disc all the way to the back and then pick the rest from there. So with that warding system, that right there is about as far as I can pick, and then I will have to go out into the space. So I push it as far as I can and then back it up, go into the space, and then I can push it further, which also makes it very difficult to control an overset. So if I accidentally got one up, let's find one. If I accidentally got it up there, I mean I can bring it back, but it does make it a lot more difficult. If I want to bring it back all the way to the beginning, I will have to turn it to get there. Turn my tensioner, which will also in turn turn the other all the other discs that I have set. So that is why we start off this way and slowly move them all clockwise instead of rotating all of them clockwise and then picking counterclockwise like we normally do on disc detainers.